Well, you can certainly hear it all around us, and this has been the scene since before sunrise. Now, these nurses are out on the picket lines because they say things aren't happening inside, and there's never a good time to have this many essential workers off the job. But these nurses say they are prepared to stay on the picket lines until what they say are essential demands are met. Nurses inside
Peaceful.
Mount Sinai who are actually on
Not
duty
crazy,
joined their
no
colleagues
chaos.
who cheered them on from the picket lines once the strike started at 6 a.m. Nurses from 5 major hospitals in the city are on strike. That's Mount Sinai Morningside, Mount Sinai West, Montefiore, and New York Presbyterian Hospital. A union representing nurses tells us that negotiations with the head of those hospital systems stalled over what they called unfair labor practices, with demands like higher pay and safer working conditions. They're the kind of demands similar to the last major nursing strike in the city in 2023. That stoppage lasted for 3 days and resulted in a deal that raised pay by 19%. This strike comes after an incident just last week where a man wielding a sharp object was shot and killed by police at New York Presbyterian Brooklyn Methodist Hospital after barricading himself inside of a room with 2 others.
So the New York City nurses, 15,000 of them, go on strike today because they want better benefits, better protection, all these things. Did you know that these nurses weren't getting health care? You're a nurse and you work in a hospital full of all type of diseases, coughing, sickness, all type of germs, bacteria, and they didn't have health insurance? Another staggering thing about what they asked for is just safety. Just recently, they had a guy in Brooklyn, one of the Brooklyn hospitals, go in there, barricade himself, stabbing people. They ended up getting shot dead by the NYPD. The key fact about this is the guy barricaded himself with the security officer. So he punked the security officer, had him in the corner, and had him petrified. That's what they had. So they had this one security guard that has no hands protecting all these nurses. I would strike too. I would not want to work there if we have one security guard that crumbles under pressure. And then I'm working with all this bacteria, all this sickness, and I can't get health care? Come on. The health care insurance, the health insurance, or the health medical industry makes billions on top of billions on top of billions. Take care of your nurses, man. But this is what I want to say about this. Look how peaceful these people are. Look how organized. Look how organized this is. Look at this. Nobody's fighting. We got some black people in there helping out, being a part of it. We got gates. We got cars driving by. What else we got? Let me go back. Let's keep going. We got cars. Look. We got these guardrails. Cars are not getting blocked. They're not acting like idiots. This is what I respect right here. Not the anti-Iran regime protests in West LA, not the Minneapolis anti-ICE raids in Minneapolis, and now it's happening in California and New York. This is respectable protest and strike. This is people with common sense. And all they want to do is fight for their rights, but they don't want to impede on traffic. They don't want to look like they're crazy. They just want to work in good conditions. The ICE protests, the Iran protests in America, take notes. Look at this. Look at this.
Colleagues who
Look
cheered
at
them
this,
on
walking
from the
this in a
picket
straight
lines once the
line.
strike started at 6
Got
a.m.
picket lines.
Nurses from 5 major
Look at
hospitals
this.
in the
Nobody's
city are
fighting.
on strike. That's Mount Sinai,
Nobody's
Mount
acting
Sinai
ignorant. Look
Morningside,
at this.
Mount Sinai
Cars
West,
are able to move
Montefiore,
through,
and New York
not blocking the
Presbyterian
street.
Hospital. A union representing
Look at this.
nurses
Oh, you see that? A bus is able to drive through and they're not getting in the way of it? You know why? Because these are people that have common sense. These aren't liberal people out there. These are people that are conservatives, probably, mostly. They just want to make money and they want good conditions. And look how peaceful they're doing it. You get more with this than chaos. Chaos does nothing. All the chaos does is give the news crews more views at the end of the day on YouTube and on the TV. But when you have people that are common sense, and they're striking and they're being outside. This is what you have. This is what you have. This is what you have. I love it. I respect it. I want them to get everything. Look, if you a nurse and you working for a place that doesn't give you health insurance, leave that job. There's no job more important than my health. Nurses are always overlooked. Nobody understands what nurses go through. You think the doctor goes through a lot? The nurses go through 10 times more than the doctor does. It's true. Not discounting what doctors do, but the nurses, they do all the dirty work. They should get rewarded. They want higher wages, full funding of health benefits, protection against cuts to benefits. So don't give me the full benefits just to get me back to work and then you'll cut it next year. No. They want contract enforcement. Their contract expired on December 31st and negotiations stalled over both economic and non-economic terms. Hospitals argue that some of the union proposals, including wage increases and other economic demands, are too costly and that they already made improvements on staffing. Then you know what you'll do? You know what's funny? They'll hire these people. They say they hired like these contract nurses. Contract nurses make bank. They make way more money than regular nurses. Because they know, the staffing agency know, you need them, so double the price, triple the price. You're at the mercy of the contract in place. So when I look at it like this, I look at it as far as saying, you know what? This is what I want to say. If you're willing to pay 2 to 3 times my salary, then why can't you pay me a little bit more than what I'm getting and giving me benefits? If you're going to have contract nurses, and everybody know contract or traveling nurses, they make bank. They go everywhere, but they get paid. We all know they get paid. That's why a lot of women just rather be a traveling nurse because you're getting 2, 3 times what a regular nurse would get. And you know the funny thing about this strike is coming during the flu season. So they picked the right time. They picked the right time to do this, which is crazy. Let's see what this black lady got talking about. Let's see. Look at this, common
We're
sense.
fighting for safe staffing. We deserve healthcare, especially as healthcare workers.
Yep.
Patient safety. Safety for us, there's a lot of violence in the workplace.
Yes, there is.
And patient safe staffing ratios.
There have been improvements since our last strike, but there's still more progress to have been made. And there's been discussions about them possibly wanting to take that away from us. They want to take back a lot of the things that we were able to progress on with the last strike. So a lot of this is not even just for progress, but also maintaining what we fought for in our last strike.
This is what it is. Look, common sense people answering questions, telling the people what they want, telling the people why they're mad, not calling anybody names, not acting ignorant, not throwing out slurs. I respect this. They're protesting, they're out there, but they're not hurting nobody else's life. They're talking to the media with common sense. They're not lying. You guys that's doing these protests in different states, take notes. Watch how the New York nurses do it. You get a lot more with that than what you guys are doing. So shout out to the New York nurses, the 15,000 that are going on strike. I hope that you guys get your money quick, but do not settle for less and make sure you get them healthcare benefits. I'm out. Oh, I'm not out. I'm back. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, going to keep this thing rocking. But also, go get her Patreon coming soon. The new No Fluff morning show coming soon. Just keep working, man. Keep commenting. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the hate, too. I love both of it. But I'm out.